Welcome back to the Edward Allen Walsh channel. Today, guys, I want to do a PvP rune guide. You may have seen my 70 streak video, and there wasn't any information on what my guys were wearing. So I figured we'd go over just the 13 heroes that I've been using in PvP. What I mean by that is all of my attack teams, I make them out of 13 heroes. Of course, there's only 4 in my team, but I picked between 13. So I'm going to show you those 13 heroes and what they wear. Maybe I'll give you a little information on each one as we go. We can start with Shade. Shade, I used to have it on defense and HP. I've moved to 2 offensive, this one and this one. And then I have a life and defense, or I have a life and a defensive base. And then I've got the festive rune, basically, the community energy rune. Shade's epics max, the stats on Shade. The reason why we went back to some attack is just because of the Valican update. If my Shade's going to get free attacks, I don't want him to do no damage. So that's what's been going on with Shade. Zom, we're still heavily invested in just trying to keep Zom alive. I'm not 100% correct that, my guy has the right amount of life or defense, but this is what works for me as is. So, Zom is probably my #1 hero investment, in the fact that I use him in the tower on every floor. I use him on defense a lot since he's heavily invested in, and then I use him on attack teams every now and then since he's heavily invested in. So he gets much use, and that's why we've got like nice elites, healer runes. We got the goodies on him. He's a high, all 13 of these heroes I'm going to show you are a high investment. His epic's also maxed. Hopper, he's sort of been, like a superstar here for me lately. Ever since they put the festive runes in the shop. I only have 1 caster, so we put it here. He's getting a lot of chances to steal. This could be anything, really. I just wanted damage, and I have so many of these that it comes in perfect, so that's what I put there. There's one of the festives, and then there's a taunt rune, and then there's the other festive. So it was 9,000 gems to rune this guy, but I don't regret it at all. It's been paying off. It's major dividends in every fight. There's still fights where Agnon doesn't miss and he smashes me, but most of the time I'm trying to run with Echo and Shade so that I can, possess my own Hopper turn 2 to make up for that. But as is, though, Hopper's been doing amazing. He's just an anti-revive. You bring him, versus revive strategies. I don't really bring him any other time. If they don't have an Emily or a Solaris on their team, you won't see me using a Hopper. It's that simple. Emily, I've had a rune like this for a very long time. She's got a Guardian, my best yellow non-Guardian, and then 2 festives, the red one and the green one. And then she has a healer in the blue. I did try the other healer, the one with skill, and it just ain't worth allowing her to take more damage to try and put health on people. That's not her purpose. So this has been working perfect for Emily. I've had her that way for a long time now. Echo, he's got, all survivability in 1 attack, I believe. Yeah, I always keep that duelist just because of the number of Solarises and Zoms that I end up lightning. When you're using lightning on this guy, it's late game. Like, you're on turn 3 or 4, so who the hell is keeping them in the fight on turn 3 and 4 is usually a Solaris and a Zom. So that's why I feel like, I could put this on other heroes, but I felt like Echo gets a lot of value out of it. Then I have the healer on him. I was going to put it on Solaris, but I've been using Echo more than Solaris, so I've got it on Echo. or Iku, however you pronounce his name. I've always thought it was Iku. And then this is my only survivor rune, and I choose to put it here because I don't want to find my Echo on fucking 1 life and on fire, and I also don't want to be frozen if I don't have any way to unfreeze. So and plus, I mean, with this in a healer rune, he almost always goes back up to full health by turn 2, so it works out great. His epic is maxed. As you can see, he's all in defensive and health build, basically. We're just using him to basically put 2 energy on Hopper, Shade, and Agnon and allow them to just rape havoc on people. The next heroes, the ones that I'm skipping that have runes on them and stuff, they're not like invested in, meaning they have runes that would be in my closet, like I like to call it, or they're wearing graders because when I lose my Zom in tower, I only have like 10 other runed heroes usually, so I end up having to put runes on somebody I don't use, so that's how they end up getting runes. But here's one that is new to the crew, Hagram. I have all kinds of investment in this Hagram. I'd probably rather call him Fellhorn. I think Fellhorn's a lot better for me to deal with, so this guy, this Mr. Fellhorn, I suggest, and I have as much offensive power as I can muster with my rune collection on this guy. We have damage penetration, tank penetration, damage penetration. That's my best yellow, whereas like if I had 6 of these, I'd have been on board with the assassin team back when, you know, the event was going on, but I only had 1, so I was kind of pissed off. But this guy, we got him hitting hard. His stats, almost 10k attack, 50 crit. But, you know, he revenges when somebody kills your dwarf like Valakin. He can take out to sum this hero up, and his main value to me is he's got 3 values. Alright? He kicks the shit out of dodgy people. That's 1 value. He can take out a Tusk on turn 1 with his 2nd move. That's another value. And then he can take an Emily out on turn 1 with his 2nd move. So that there is why this guy is a heavy investment. He's moved right up in to my main PvP heroes, and he's really I only run him on offense when I use Valakin. I don't find him 100% effective on defense, but he has kicked the shit out of me a couple times this week, so just have to play that guy by ear. But I definitely think he needs the power on him. Definitely needs to be hitting hard. You do not want to leave something alive when you could have killed it with him. Furno. We have our Furno set to deal damage. We want him to die. That's the only defensive rune we have on him right there is the Guardian. So we want this guy to die just so we can res him with Emily, but we don't want him to like insta-die. So that's why he's got the Guardian. Furnace has been a whole new hero since he got, well, did I even show, I might have got too far ahead of myself. I don't think I showed his stats. So 10k. 10k seems to be like the benchmark of attack that you're wanting to hit on offensive heroes. If you're not 10k attack on an offensive hero, then you're kind of in jeopardy of not passing when it comes time to kill. Furnace is a completely new hero now that he can taunt when he enters the dungeon. That allows you to be able to, you know, eat a Shadow Blade hit, or some other hit that normally you only really had Tusks to do that with. So, I don't have enough runes to really rune this guy the way I want to. I'd love to have skins on him, you know, lightning skin or electric skin, burning skin, disease, whatever. But as is, we need him to take hits. We're bringing him in a lot of Zom fights. We're bringing him in some dwarf fights where we need to keep our hoppers alive or whatever. He's seeing a lot of use, though. He very good at eating an Agnon. Anytime I see Emily before Agnon, almost always makes me think of this guy. So we got that there. We got the tank rune. Yeah, this is what my guild got. I think maybe everybody got this rune. It doesn't matter to me, guys. I could have accepted the even lower yellow tank rune, and I'd have been happy because it would have been cheaper to move around, but I don't see much moving this around. It's pretty much either you're going to put it on this guy or you're going to put it on your Solaris. I mean, other than that, you're just kind of trying to be fancy, I think. But we're loving the fact that he's got defense, you know, that we're not relying on Abs of Steel to take the 5 hits and that be all his hits. So, I mean, now that he's got defense on him, he can take, you know, 10, 20 hits in a fight, not just 5. We do have skill on him. We want his burn to do some damage when it finally burns at the end of turn. We do not have a lot of attack on him, but as you can see, 14k defense with 14k health is pretty nifty shit. 50 crit chance. You'll see that on a lot of my heroes. I kind of aim for that. Next, we got Valakin, another new one. He's been amazing, guys. With every single attack, he does Drake's special. Like that. If you thought Drake was overpowered, this guy is giving out teams free attacks. So you're gonna see a lot of him, I think. We got ours basically. I wanted every slot that I could get to be keep me alive slot. I'm not interested in doing any damage with the Valakin. I'm interested in the damage comes from the follow-ups that he allows to happen after he swings. So if he's dead, he's not doing any swinging, which means there ain't going to be no follow-ups. So I got everything I could think of mashed in here to keep his ass alive. We got defense, health in every place I could get it. I don't like the damage penetration mod there, but I don't have any more defensive health with a 4th survivable trait. I also don't have any reds that are really, you know, survivor red runes. I got skills with HP, and I got dodge with defense. So here we pretty much went with the most defensive red offensive rune I got, which is, you know, this is I call it a 50-50. 2 of the stats are offensive and 2 of the stats are defensive, so it worked out for me. Whereas, like an example to me, all 4 of those are defensive. Freezing Skin is going to eventually negate damage over the course of a million fights, you know it. Here we went with the Purge buff chance since he's hitting on every hit. I can't stand these chance runes, by the way. Any rune that says the word chance on it, you can shove it up your ass. That's what I think about that rune. But I'm going to use what I have while I got it. And now my reasoning on why I think you can shove your 20% chance runes up your ass is because it doesn't do me no good that your AI gets to jizz in my face 1 out of 5 times. You know, I can't factor in. It's hard. I basically have to consider it an absolute and then figure it in that way before entering a fight. Yeah, I can't stand it, man. It's basically like, I see a lot in your game. You guys, you know, you're flip-floppers. It's all about chance. Take a chance. Let's try it. Even though it's gay as shit. We got another defense health, lifesteal rune. The lifesteal's not really doing me any good, guys. I wish it was like another more survivable stat. I wish I had better runes to put on my heroes, but we work with the chicken crap we got. So, as you can see, he's got 13k defense and 13k health. Pretty high stats for that. That's what we're aiming towards. Agnon. Agnon's still the #1 guy for putting people on their face. He is the dwarf killer. He puts in mad work, man. I don't really know any dwarves taking his hit yet. Maybe they'll get to where they can in the future when people start life ruining them up, but since Agnon hits so hard, we really don't need fancy stats. We just need to give him some attack, give him some defense, you know, and that's, like, he's real plain. Like, you could almost have, like, any runes you want on this guy and do the roll, but you just, when I say any runes you want, I still mean, like, if you're trying to build him offensive, then you just put any runes you want that are offensive on him. If you're trying to rune him defense, you just put whatever runes you want that are defensive on him, and he's going to do good. As for mixing it up, I don't know, but where I got him is, I just got these 2 here because they're cheap for me. I have like 5 or 6 of them, so I put 2 there. It's a cheap investment, and he hits hard as shit. Now this one, I could change it to the new rune that, like the PvP reward that's in the shop right now, or which I did buy one of, and there's one I'll get for boss 100. I could put that there. It's 10% damage, period, instead of just the legendaries, but this guy better kill a fucking Zom. That's why I have that rune on him, is that Zom better be dead after I drop Zom. So I'm not changing that rune, I don't think. I don't think I'm changing it for nothing. We have a healer rune here, mainly because I wanted to go with one defensive stat rune, period, on this guy. Meaning, like, the rune had to be keep his ass alive and the whole rune, and there's only, 4 spots I could put that. Purple, green, or blue. I did have for a long time lifesteal, defense, health, and the blue, purple, and it was doing great with duelist in the green. So great. But being able to heal 10% life at the end of each turn was even greater, especially on those turns where I'm double energying him up with Echo. So then on like my turn 2, if I need health, I know I can rock up and heal while in the rock. And then heal like from the turn that I went in rock. So, I mean, it's definitely worth it to have healer runes on Agnon. On defense, if you're going to put an Agnon on defense, all defense with healer runes is just nasty. I mean nasty on defense. On attack, it's probably going to get you a bunch of losses. So, you kind of can't really have your cake and your icing with Agnon. You either got him runed to kill people on offense, or you got him runed to stop people from stealing your gold on defense. But to go over his stats, he only has 8,800 attack, but the one thing that I have on him that I'm cool with is high crit chance and that damage to magical. So for right now, he's killing everybody he needs to. That 49% is basically a 50 to me. But he does very well. I got no complaints with Agnon. Kai. He's sort of new. We've invested in him. I am not a fan of the stupid-ass defense attack runes, period. I've never been a fan of them. But we decided we were going to work with him on Kai, since he never misses. So I decided, these runes that I'm not a big fan of, to dump them all here. So we got our Kai. Definitely trying to catch some people off guard, maybe that, come in with glass cannons and are expecting to do whatever, like maybe this guy's going to hit them just hard enough to bring them low enough to not do what they want to do. But he's got attack on every single rune slot, and he also has defense on every single rune slot. But for the most part, we're not running him for his runes. We're just running him to remove taunt. He's basically the Swinlin counter. And every now and then, certain assassin teams, they use taunt. I bring him. Anytime I'm trying to get fancy with a team that was getting fancy with taunt, this is my man. His attacks and defense, they're pretty close. That's a lot of defense. I wasn't expecting his attack to be that high, but, I ain't complaining. That's how we've been using him. Solaris, we use her every time we fight, the beatdown teams usually, like Assassins. We're not using her versus Barb. Zom's been covering that role. But we got her back to being able to eat hits and heal. So she's back in healer role for us. We got lots of skill on her. We got HP and defense on her and damage reduction. And we have the skill and Purge buff. I don't give a shit about the Purge buff. The Purge buff is, if this room just said defense, skill, I was putting it here. So it's working out great there. My Solaris is taking hits now and staying alive and doing what she's supposed to do when you run her that way. I was running her in attack, but that's because I was running Grog. Grog ain't one of the 13 heroes anymore because they made Valakin. So, well, I say they made Valakin. He was always there, but now he's good again. I mean, now he can take on more than just assassins. He can just free up so many build options. You can create new things with the fact that he lets your whole team attack. Our stats, we only got 3,000 attack, but we got 7k defense with 11k health. And another thing to note is that skill is 6.5k. So when we come over here, we are healing 16,200 health split between all allies. And that doubles on a kill, guys. Very rare we're going to get a kill now that we're on the heal mode, but still, 16,000 is pretty impressive for a scrub like me. So, anytime, though, that I run Solaris, most of the time it's with Gortusk. I've been pairing them up pretty good. Kuros and Drake don't have superior investment on them. They're basically just tower playstyles, and every now and then... Yeah, I don't think I've used Kuros in, 2 weeks in PvP, but I might be lying there, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we went over everybody I use in PvP, so let's name them as I go up. We got Gortusk, we got Solaris, We got Kai, we got Agnon, we got Valakim, we got Furnace, that's 6. We got Furno, that's 7. We got Fellhorn, that's 8. We got Echo, that's 9. We got Emily, that's 10. We got Hopper, that's 11. We got Zom, that's 12. And we got Shade, that's 13. So those are the heroes that I'm using in PvP currently. My record is not so hot this week, but that's because, guys, I've been doing lots of testing. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button there. Oh, shoot. I just wanted to see my stats. We're not doing so well on defense. We're at 34%. 91%, I mean, I guess is good for 1%, but I don't, usually have 29 losses, period. But I'd say 20 of those, man, are just from playtesting, trying to find out, what's up. How did I find out my dwarves were good? How did I find out all that stuff other than losing? You don't find out anything unless you lose. But another thing, I guess, to note that I'll be making a video of hopefully soon is we're about to finally accomplish one of our, more serious goals. And that is, I'm about to become the highest free-to-play in the game, trophy-wise. Unless all of a sudden this guy starts, becoming a PvP player again. Atlantis, however his name is pronounced, he's the only free-to-play on this list above me. So once I pass him, I will have established dominance as the free-to-play player, I think. And we will. I'm not stopping there, guys. I'll play until the game cuts me out. So they cut off any options I have of staying on this list or passing anybody or accomplishing anything. But as is, they still allow me a chance. I still keep these guys having a PvP daily, so we'll see how high we can get. But that's something I want to let you guys know is going to be going down in the future in about 40,000 more trophies. I don't know what, but I'll make a video since we're, trying to be top free-to-play in the game. I hope this rune guide kind of gives you an idea of what, I'm doing in PvP. If you don't have the festive runes on your Amelie, or let's say you don't have any festive runes, well, then you, more than me, better be getting on this guy's nuts. Because he gives 2 energy, which is like putting 2 festive runes on your guys, basically. So, example, Agnon and Emily. If I give them 2 energy, I might as well put festive runes on them. They're going to be doing some crazy shit in a fight. So, Hopper, Agnon, Emily, Echo is very, very good for you guys that don't have festive runes. If you don't have taunt runes, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to take every fight one at a time. So your fights are going to be different than mine. But at least you know kind of who to rune attack. I think in explaining to you how to rune people, I think you can kind of sum it up as in offensive, defensive runes, and then mod runes, like healer runes, taunt runes, festive runes. So when I start giving people advice on, how to rune someone, if they ask me how to rune my Shade, I would say 2, 1, and 2. 2 defensive, 2 offensive, and 1 mod. If you ask me how to rune my Zom, I'd say 3 defensive, 1 offensive, 1 mod. If you ask me how to rune my Hopper, I would tell you 3 mod, 2 offensive. That's what I mean. So hopefully I can kind of break it down to where, because it's not so much about what rune you have and what rune you use. It's about the idea of how to use the hero. It's more about the principle, the line of play, the decision making, more so than it's about exactly what runes they're wearing. Example, my Shade moves around from an attack strategy to a defensive strategy. My Solaris moves around from an attack strategy to a defensive strategy. My Hopper moves around from an attack strategy to a defensive strategy. So it's all situational and meta changing. So I hope this guide will just show you where they're at right now. If I did not go over them, if they're not that 13 heroes that I just named out when we went back through there, I don't use them. I'm not saying they're no good. I'm just saying I'll kick your ass without them. How about that? That's all I'm saying. So I don't need any of those other heroes. Example, Lily. Lily's a really good hero, guys. I'm glad you guys love Lily. I love Lily. But I don't need Lily right now. I need to kill shit. So I'm not interested in Lily. But who knows? Maybe the dwarves are going to push me back into her with Felgrim. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully kept it short. And you guys now know more than you did before you watched the video. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks.